So it's finished Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2 in an electrifying finish. Arsenal finally break their ducks over Newcastle at St James's Park and get a well-deserved victory, if you ask me. First half, we was the better team by far. Second half, Newcastle come back into it a little bit. The goal they scored against a runner play in the first half. Eze had a few chances and we played very, very well. I thought the handbrake was took off at long last. We didn't play with an handbrake on. Arteta must have been watching all these videos and all these live streams that all us as Arsenal fan content creators have been doing about taking the handbrake off, playing with Eze in the number 10. He did that and look at the game. It was the most exciting game we've played this season, let me tell you. Let me tell you that. No way, shape or form. You know, there's no argument about the excitement of the game. And you know what? I did think, as it was going on and I'm getting into the 80th minute, I did think that Newcastle were going to lock us up. And they did sit back. They sat back, defended deep. But then fell victim to a lovely cross from Declan Rice. Merino, the substitute who come on just about 5 minutes beforehand, gets the equaliser. And then from another corner, Gabriel Magalhaes, my man of the match, Gabriel Magalhaes. What was it between him and Declan Rice, I think? I couldn't make my mind up, but because Magalhaes gets the goal, I know Declan Rice gets the assists, but do you know what? Gabriel was immense today. I had the hump with him. He went over too easy with that push on the back, and when Newcastle scored their goal, Maresca makes a little bit of a rush novice mistake, kicks the ball out, concedes the corner which they score from. Gabriel Magalhaes goes down a bit too easy from a little touch on the back. He goes down, tries to win a free kick. A little bit stupid there, in my opinion. You know, he should have stayed. If he stands up strong, he might not get the goal on target, like the header on target. You don't know for sure. It does go over a little bit easy, but the goal stands. You know, it was no foul. It was obvious it was no foul. Should we have had a penalty? Should we have had a penalty, Nick Pope, on Gyökeres? Absolutely. Robbed of a penalty there, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I think Eze played brilliant as well in that middle. Had about 3 or 4 shots on target. Worked Pope. Pope had to make some wonderful saves. And, you know, I always say about how good the fans are up there at St James's Park. They did not shut up. But what annoyed me about them today was the same old Arsenal always cheating. Every time a decision went against them, they get a bit like the same old Arsenal always cheating. I hate that. I hate that when all the fans, all the grounds around the bloody country do that nowadays. But it just frustrates me. And when they do exactly the same thing, you know, they swallow it. Arsenal fans right up in the gods in St James's Park where the away fans are. You can hardly hear what they were saying. But when that equaliser went in, it silenced St James's Park. And then the winner, you could even hear the Arsenal fans cheering. Everyone goes absolutely ballistic. We've gained the 3 points that we was desperate to gain. Back on Liverpool. Back in the title race, just 2 points behind now. Another little slip from Liverpool, a little draw. And if we can say Liverpool draw their next game and we beat West Ham next week. Or is it next week or is there an international break? I'm not sure. My mind's all fuzzy. My mind's all excited and buzzing. But we've got West Ham next. New manager bands, you know, they've got Nuno Espirito Santo in at West Ham. It might be a little bit of a difficult game, but Arteta makes things hard for himself with his team selections. But I think he got it right today. The only thing I disagreed with is having Trossard over on the left-hand side. I don't think I would have started with Trossard, but I think the rest of it, yeah, I agreed with. I agreed with the, you know, Timber. Obviously, Ray and goal started with Timber and Maresca and Gabriel and Calafiori. Saliba come on at half time. You know, I think whether it was planned for them to have a half each or whether Arteta, you know, ripped him a new arsehole in the dressing room for conceding the corner, which we didn't really need to do, which then led to the goal that Newcastle scored to put them 1-0 up. Who knows? I don't know that for sure. Yeah, the rest of the team. But I think Declan Rice I think Declan Rice played deep quite a lot in this game with Zubimendi, but having him as the double, it was like the 4-2-3-1 basically. It was like that, and that's like what we've been calling for Declan Rice and Zubimendi in that double pivot with Eze in the 10, and you got the wingers. Saka started the game. I think he lasted about 70 minutes. I think it was. Anyway, I was a little bit, a little bit surprised not to see Wanyeri on the bench. I thought he could have come on for Saka around that time, the 70th minute, 60th minute, whatever it was. I can't really remember now. I'm buzzing for the victory, though, buzzing to get that win at St James's Park, which has eluded us for so long. Gyökeres still strikes a blank. I mean, we've got to give him time. If you're going to give Havertz 50 games, you've got to give Gyökeres 50 games. But I think he's got it there. He was a bit unlucky. He scuffed a few shots, slips over a few times. With Eze behind him, there was a few half chances there. But I tell you what, Newcastle have got the best defence in the league, by the way. They defended very, very well. They marshalled him out of the game. Dan Burn and whoever else was in the other centre-half, they did keep their eyes on Gyökeres, and they did defend very, very well. One thing I will say about Joel Linton, he tried to stick it on Saka really early in that game, and I thought he was trying to make a point, a little bit of a bully boy, but I don't know anyway, you know what I mean, it's part of the tactics, I suppose. But he did clatter and smash into Saka really early. The first minute of the game he done that, and I thought he was going to put the horrors on Saka a little bit, but it didn't work. Saka had a decent game, to be fair. Everyone played very well today. I'm over the moon with the result. I was very nervous. I didn't think we was going to win. I did think that Newcastle were going to just lock us out and, stay that, and we weren't going to be able to break them down. We couldn't break them down from open play, but the set plays, set play kings, apparently. We are set play kings. But anyway, we get that victory, 2-1, go second place, 2 points behind Liverpool. Game on.